So I moved from Louisville, Kentucky to come here when I was 12 or 13. And I think the biggest part of the reason that I moved, when I got associated with the Davidson Academy through the Young Scholars Program, so I'd come to a summit here and had already toured the school and was a big fan of it. And the biggest part of the reason I came here was the personalized learning plan, which really let me kind of go to slower pace in English and history and subjects I found more difficult, and really accelerate in math and science and other subjects I found fascinating.
The reason my family started thinking about it is because I was getting close to high school and my parents were sort of running out of options in terms of homeschooling, and the public school system in Alabama is one of the worst in the country. So wasn't super excited about that.
I came here because my brothers already went here, and I could see how how much they enjoyed the flexibility of what they could do.
Like the Davidson Academy gives you a lot more freedom in terms of like what classes you can take and how you kind of go about your education, and so that's something that I really liked, and that's why I ended up coming here.
If you could just keep charging ahead with one subject, you were allowed to do that here, and so that's something I really appreciated and I wanted to do for myself.
I was getting a little bit angsty about like the perceived possible lack of like educational opportunities in Las Vegas, and here it just seemed like a nice like a smaller school that also had those opportunities, so that's why I came.
It seemed like a place where I could find people who were passionate the same way I was about academics, but were also like the same age as me.
The teachers are like very much dedicated to your individual learning, like in a way that I hadn't seen before.
The smallness of size kind of caters to being able to build like a community, like a very cohesive community.
They still remembered what I was like when I first came to the academy, and they saw how much I had changed while I was here, and they really facilitated that growth for me. And they watched it very closely, and they knew that they were helping me to become a better person.
But I remember in particular, like my first year, I struggled a lot with like OCD and speech impediment and other things along those lines. And people really took the time to like step aside and help me get like counseling and support and testing and stuff that really helped me grow throughout my time at the academy. I think that was the biggest surprise for me.
At the academy, they make sure that like you're focused on learning the material and also on the skills that like are important for you to learn, rather than just getting through like, you know, X many PowerPoints and answering X many quizzes.
One of my favorite memories is taking British literature my freshman year. We got very into the book Grendel, and then our teacher was like, oh, okay, we can like spend some more time on this since you really like it. Which was something that like I hadn't really seen before in my schooling outside of Davidson.
I was very involved with the math club here, which we always did an interstellar competition that I remember being a lot of fun, and just had lots of like fun countdown rounds and other competitions. And I was also involved on the Davidson Academy basketball team that played from my 9th grade to 12th grade years. And despite not winning a single game except in the 3v3 play, it was something that fostered a lot of team spirit and community and whatnot.
I was also involved in a couple of clubs that I had leadership roles in, and I really appreciated the opportunity to kind of pursue like my own direction with like leading a group of people or working together to solve some sort of problem or work on some sort of project. I really, some of my best memories came out of those situations.
My favorite aspect of the academy has definitely been the teachers. They're all so passionate about helping students learn and like making that learning interesting and engaging and fun.
I also really enjoyed like things that we did in class. So like in the physics class, I just really like all of the projects we did, and like where you like we made hot air balloons, and then we went out and to like one of the quads on the university and just like let them go to see how high they could go. Like I thought that was so fun.
I think something that a lot of gifted students run into is being given busy work in other schools, because people are like, oh, you can do this work so quickly. Here is more work to do, which is not really conducive to learning. And it's very different here, and I really appreciated that.
But I think one thing that in retrospect, I really appreciate, but maybe was not so appreciative when I started, was like the intensity of the writing program. So I think coming into the Davidson Academy, I was very much STEM. Like I didn't want to, like I liked reading, but I didn't want to touch like an essay at all. Like I hated writing because I just didn't know what to say or like how to say it. And Davidson has like a very quick way of beating that out of you.
The writing at Davidson is definitely one of the most helpful things in terms of like college preparation.
Like the Davidson Academy really helped me with like being prepared and like understanding like this is what this is like it presented me with challenging coursework and then like gave me the time to figure out how to like deal with it and how to like study for it and things like that. So I think like going into college I was a lot more prepared to handle like the workload.
Knowing how to approach challenging coursework, because that's something that we do a lot here at Davidson. And so I think even when I have faced obstacles, I've known like where to look for resources, who to ask for help, how to manage my time, things like that.
So I go to Arizona State University, and it's a really big university, but some of my classes have still been like pretty small, especially within the journalism school. And some of my peers, sometimes they don't always know how to approach like the professor for help because they've never really been in a setting where they can receive individualized attention and stuff like that, so that's really new to them. Or working on a problem together with their peers in like a really collaborative way, that's also something that can be new to a lot of them. And so that's something that I have been able to introduce to other people and help them like kind of break into, and it's helped me a lot in college too, to be able to know how to reach out in that way.
I got really involved in the university in my last couple of years, and I'm really grateful for the opportunity because in my senior year I was meeting regularly with a math professor as well, and all those experiences, both taking classes at a university level and being very involved in a university like setting, helped a lot when I transitioned to the University of Alberta just this past winter.
You know, if you find yourself unsatisfied with the course that you're in, all it takes is like a search on the course catalog to see if there happens to be like a UNR class that's maybe a little bit higher level that you're interested in taking. So I think that is really nice. The fact that you're able to pursue challenge definitely prepares you for, you know, going into actual college where your classes are that challenging.
I always will think of kind of Reno as that home base. So whenever I'm back here, I always love connecting with a fellow alumni and whatnot. We have a specific group chat, Convo Pro, which features like 13 or 14 alumni that we still talk on a almost daily basis. So I really am just super grateful for all the friendships I've made here.
Like my close circle of friends that I had here all through all of those years when we went through the hard stuff together and had like a lot of hard conversations about where our lives were going or, you know, things that we were experiencing at the time. I think they're still like my biggest support network. I think like we still talk like every day.
Like I enjoy being reflective now with my group of friends, and I'm not sure if I would have learned those skills or been as comfortable in those like small, sometimes intense like social situations if I like hadn't come here and like gotten so used to like, you know, being close to people.
When I came to Davidson, I was very shy and quiet to the point that like many of the adults in my life were actively worried about my well-being. I was fine. I just didn't really like talking to people or like understand how to do that in a way that I was comfortable with. And the staff at Davidson dedicated so much time to helping me open up and like speak up more both in and out of class. And I think being in a small school environment was also really helpful for that because I got very comfortable with everyone here. Like I knew the names of every single student, and now that I'm in a bigger place, I have the confidence that I need to participate in my college community.
The past year, I spent traveling quite a bit. Over the summer, last summer, I spent 6 weeks in Korea, in South Korea, with a language program, learning Korean. And then in the fall, I studied abroad in Madrid, Spain. And there I was learning, I took some Spanish classes, but it was mainly some engineering courses. And so I got to spend my time like traveling quite a bit, which I thought was rather nice. But
some of the things I've been involved in are a lot of different poetry events. I've had some work in like an actual art gallery, which is very exciting. And I am studying abroad in Buenos Aires, Argentina this summer.
I do a lot of stuff with both math teaching and math curriculum development. So I help a couple of companies, mainly California, to teach students or help build curriculum for them, which I really enjoy. I think for future career aspirations, I really want to stay in a university setting for a while. Like I'm planning to go through a master's, PhD, and whatnot.
I want to be a journalist. I'm not really sure like what specialization or anything like that, but this fall I'm gonna go to Washington, D.C. for the semester to work in Cronkite News' D.C. bureau, so I'll be reporting from Capitol Hill, and I'll see what I do with that. I haven't gotten my beat yet, but I could do like education or health or something like that. So
right now I work in a lab in Cambridge that does lung regeneration research, which I really enjoy. So I worked with them last summer and it continued like through the school year term time. And this summer I'm going to, I have the great opportunity to go to Germany to work on plant stem cell research, which is, I don't know, it's kind of I think it's really cool. It might be a little bit niche, but I think it's really cool. So yeah.
One of the things about Davidson that has been very impactful for me in terms of like where I've ended up has just been like the sheer number of opportunities students have here. Like partially because it's on a college campus and we have access to a lot of UNR's resources, but then also just because the teachers here are so willing to help students pursue their passions.
I would say ask for help if you need it in anything. Just there are people who are here for you, whether it's a counselor or a teacher or your friends. No one will know that you need help if you don't ask for it. So
I do like maybe want to caution people, like make sure like you know what you're getting into, because like it's not going to be all roses. Yeah. I mean, yes, your teachers are going to care about you till the end of the earth. And like your classes are going to be really small and the educational opportunities are great, but you also, you have to put the work in, and there are going to be times when it's really tough, when you're going to have to deal with things that you maybe didn't think you were going to have to deal with. So just as long as you're like ready for that challenge, you're going to grow and be better for it, I think.
I don't think I could imagine my life without the Davidson Academy. I think that it's played such a huge part of kind of who I am and how I've grown up throughout the past 7-8 years, and I'm really grateful that I've had all the opportunities that I had here and that I was able to integrate myself in the community. And really, the high school years are a big part of kind of finding your identity and discovering a lot of stuff about yourself, and I'm really glad I did it in an environment like the Davidson Academy.
To learn more, visit the Academy's website or contact us today.